Why don't Muslims vote? So I talked about the importance of voting, of having your voice heard, and making sure that you use the power that's given to you in this democracy to then make sure your voice and your influence is done in the way laws are passed, rules are made, and how your tax dollars are spent and what programs are funded. But of course, many Muslims don't vote. And why is that? Well, there's a variety of reasons. Here's a short list of some of the most common reasons. Number one, my vote doesn't matter. My vote doesn't matter. This is something we hear a lot of people say, that our vote doesn't matter, so what's the purpose of voting? That couldn't be further from the truth. Your vote is the thing that matters. Oftentimes when we protest in the streets or we share things on social media, all these are important tools for creating political change, but in the end your most important tool is the ability to vote, because in the end when you vote you determine who makes the laws, who hires the police commissioner, who hires the judges, who appoints the judges, so on and so forth. So your vote is extremely important. It does count, and the only way it doesn't count is if you don't vote. Number two, conspiracy theories. Of course, the Muslim community, we have this concept that they control everything. Now, it's not just the Muslim community. Many communities have this idea that everything is controlled by the they, right? In quotations. And this is something we have to understand, that in the United States is still a country ruled by law, ruled by order, and that the way that this system works is through the election process. There are people who are businesses or political entities or groups who have interests, who have things that they want to see happen. Big business, they don't want the Environmental Protection Agency to tell them what to do so they can make more money and destroy the environment and make more profits. This is their interest that they have. And then other people might have different types of interests as well. In the end, the they that people talk about really isn't there. The only reason that they can do what they want is you have groups of people who have self-interest, whether it's businesses, individuals, organizations, groups, whatever it is. They have self-interest and they're voting, they're getting involved, and they're making what they want to happen because they put their time, money, and effort into it. And guess what? You can do that too. There's nothing stopping you from doing it other than yourself. So this is another issue to understand and realize. Number three, there is no actual choice. The two parties are basically the exact same. There's no real choice, and I'm just voting for, the same thing. And again, this is an issue that happens because, yes, in some ways the parties have issues that overlap one another. But of course, there are major differences between not only the two political parties, but also other parties like the Green Party, the Libertarian Party, and others. Also, I think this idea comes because the average Muslim doesn't understand how American government works. They don't understand the three levels of government. So instead, we look at the government like, on the federal level, the president, why does my vote matter? Well, you're right. Maybe in the federal election, your vote is not as significant as if you vote in the state level for your governor or for a local level like your mayor. So you have to understand that there is actually a choice, and that the people you vote for do have very specific differences from each other, and that there is a choice. They're not the two sides of the same coin, but rather it can appear that on some issue, but on other issues they are very significantly different. Number four, America is just against Islam and Muslims. There's this idea that America is just against our community, and no matter what we do, they're always going to be against our community. So why are you participating in the election and voting? And again, this is something that really surprises me, because as a community, we are not engaged. We are not voting. We are not having our voices heard. So when we don't speak up, others will speak for us. Others will pass policies and laws and rules and regulations that impact our community because there is not an opposition to it. So once you create that opposition, again, the democratic process doesn't care what your interests are and who you are. It really is a system that's based on how active you are and things like that. Of course, also when we say, these America's against Islam or Muslims, we're really talking from that foreign relation perspective, from that international perspective. Meaning that when it comes to America's foreign relations or the way that the industry works in this country, that's really what we're talking about. But in reality, what has America done that's so? What has the state of Texas done that's so bad to Islam or Muslims? What has your local township done that's so bad against Islam and Muslims? Is it you don't like the grass cutting ordinances? You don't like the way the streets are built? What is it specifically? And when you actually get to the root of that issue, it's because, well, I don't like America is invading my country or supporting this person or so on and so forth. And I understand where that comes from. That can get so frustrating. But the way you change that is you get active and involved. And if you can't change on the federal level for now, again, get involved in the state and local level, because if you live in America, if you pay taxes, have an impact on how those taxes are and laws are made, and don't just focus on international relations and international politics. Another one that's really psychological is just we don't really matter. And what I mean by that is that when you talk to a group of Muslims, they will all understand, yes, we must get involved. Yes, we have to do more. There's this idea that we have to do more, we have to get involved, that we have to do this or that. But it falls apart when it's, I have to do that, right? My opinion matters. My voice matters. I'm the one that needs to do it. Yes, there are amazing organizations and groups and leaders in our community that we expect they're the one that should do this work. That's not accurate. We need to break the psychology in our mind and understand, no, you are powerful, your voice matters, and you can make a major difference. And you don't need permission from me or anybody else to do that. Don't undersell yourself, because the opposition, the people who have different values than us, or who are organizing against our community, nobody gave them permission. Nobody told them that, yes, you have the right to do it. So don't let that be a deterrent. Get active, get involved, and vote, and make that difference.